Well, here we are, some of us in the studio, some of us are on Zoom, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate show of the 22-23 season. Season 12 for us here on the Tilton Talk Show, and we'll be going into season 13 in just a few months' time. But we're going to have our summer sabbatical this year. We're going to have a little bit of a summer sabbatical, because we missed out through the COVID years, but I thought it was really important. Well, everybody thought it was really important to try and keep everybody together. I personally, right, I'm going to introduce you to the team if I can remember all the names. We've got Chris Browne.
Good evening.
We've got Craig Courtney.
Good evening.
We've got Mark Adams.
Good evening.
We've got Mr. Paul Hickes, the one and only Savant.
Good evening, all.
You've got myself. We've got Claire Giblin.
Good evening.
Chairman of the board, Alan Motto.
Evening.
Mark Meredith, all the way from the United States of America.
Evening all.
And Sam Mullet.
Who are you?
You are, yeah.
Did I get everybody?
Oh, sorry.
Did I get everybody?
Yeah, I think
I
you did.
surprised myself there. I'll be honest with you.
You did good.
Considering
Really well.
Yeah, I don't know, I did all right there. I'm proud of you.
Where's that music come from, by the way? Has that been written by who?
Got by Chris. And,
You've done that yourself?
Yeah.
Like it well with somebody else.
Impressive, that
Who
is.
did most of it.
That's impressive. It's good.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Can you walk me headphones, Chris, a little bit?
Oh, I certainly
You're
can.
very kind.
Okay.
Yeah, for me personally, ladies and gents, I think I've ended the season on a high. Right? We're certainly in the best position we've been in for, 5-6 years maybe? We've got developments going on underneath the Tilton Road now as we speak. And we've got the potential for, new investment and, potential new long-term ownership, who knows. What do you know, Craig? Any updates this week?
No, it's all been quiet.
All right, shut up then.
That's nice, isn't it?
It's too
Well,
quiet.
there's must be 10 of us on this. We ain't got long together, you know what I mean? No, go on, Craig.
No, the only thing is, obviously, the work at the stadium has started. Still no news on season tickets or the potential new owners, and I'm still sticking with that word potential until it's signed, sealed and delivered, but it's all sounding very positive.
I think the fact that we haven't had anything about season tickets is a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the new owners will want to come in and actually, they don't want to bring people back, so will they reduce prices, will they keep them the same? We wait to see, but I'm hoping they'll be reduced.
It'd be nice if they did. I mean, they're good value anyway, to be fair, but it'd be a real boost if it was a little bit cheaper.
I mean, if they're making decisions, I hope they keep the core of, the knowledge of the club, the people like Ian who know the club inside out, and James Corrigan, and you know what I mean, all these people that work at the club, Craig Gardner as well. Well, certainly, there's certain things down there that don't need to be fixed, I think,
I mean, a lot of people are already speculating on Craig Gardner's future, but like you say,
he's done a good job, hasn't he?
I mean, arguably, we wouldn't see the likes of, dare I say, Hannibal and Chong, and that's all through Craig Gardner's contact. So you can't knock him for that.
No, it'd be interesting to see what he could do with a bit of money to spend as well.
Yeah.
And the same goes for John Eustace as well. Definitely deserve the chance to try and take us to the next level. I don't know if he is the man to do it, but he certainly deserves the chance.
He deserves to have the reins for another few months at least.
No. I think you've got to season. Got to go season, full season.
Yeah.
He's not had a pre-season with us, has he?
No, he hasn't. No, he's joined us quite late, didn't he?
He joined the squad late, and he's also not got many of his players that he's chosen personally, right, to do the job. Now, we've got to sit back now, let the summer happen. Decisions will be made, good, bad, indifferent, ugly. As supporters, we just have to accept what is, and it's a very difficult one because of the passion and the pride of the city. But I don't know, it's just this summer just seems to feel so much better. And when I was walking down outside St Andrews after the game last week, that last game of the city, it felt different.
We've got hope again, haven't we?
Yeah.
There's hope. The hope's back. It's always the hope that kills you, but it's back.
We're talking about the stadium, but
feeling, with obviously all the rumours with marquees, which I just think is just ridiculous. Is like how Zola came in all of a sudden. I'm hoping that they've learnt from that mistake because, you've got to give him an opportunity. He's a young, up-and-coming manager. Okay, if we give him a whole season, and then you know they want to change. Okay, but you've got to give him a chance.
Yeah, he definitely deserves a chance.
It's stupid to do anything different.
I mean, like I say,
I guess it depends.
the Mark Hughes rumours coming already. It's pantomime season with this Mark Hughes business, and it's just
stop it, please stop it.
I'd rather have Steve Bruce back than Mark Hughes.
Stop it.
It's only because of the guy that's linked us with the club.
We've got a manager in situ at the moment, and as far as I'm concerned, that is the man to take us forward at this present point in time. Speculation will do nobody any good whatsoever.
It has happened a lot, though, hasn't it? Obviously, ourselves, like Claire says, with the Zola thing, and you know, you get new ownership, and they want a new broom, don't they? They want their own. They want their own feel on it and their own stamp on it, and you know, if it happens, obviously, whoever comes in and replaces him, I'll always support. But I certainly think he doesn't deserve to be sacked or anything like that. He definitely deserves a chance.
Sharon said to me the other day she's got blisters off the broom at home. I said I'll drive you next time.
Yeah.
The club have
I think
actually
we would
released.
regret it. I think if he did ever leave and went somewhere else, I think we would be like Rowett and Monk. They did okay in other places.
Yeah.
You know, like Millwall have been
We've got an opportunity here potentially to move this club forward for the first time in a very long time, and like I say, we've got to embrace the decisions that are made when they're made, and you know, they will make them for what they will believe to be the good of the club.
I mean, you look at the playoffs now. All four managers are good young English managers, and also as well, you know, not a lot of them really out of the four teams have got a lot of money to spend. I mean, Luton, they've hardly spent anything on their team, and the same goes for Coventry as well.
Coventry have had nothing. They just had a squad of League. Said last week, Coventry have had a lot of League One and League Two players who've grown together.
Yeah.
They haven't had to spend a lot.
No.
And then they're reaping the rewards now.
And Coventry, did you see the size of that crowd there? Huh?
I was talking to the lads who went to work today, and they said it was a lot more than the 28,000 that was official. They said it was a lot.
Big club, Coventry. Big club.
I'm just glad it wasn't at St Andrews, because that would have hurt even more.
Yes.
That would have been so. Imagine how painful that would have been.
Yeah.
And talking to St Andrews, they've actually just sent out, literally within the past 5 minutes, an update on what's going on at the stadium.
Right.
So they've said in the first week, they've removed all of the advertisements that was covering the lower tiers.
Okay.
All the scaffolding's taken down. They have also removed all the side hoardings and LED screens from the perimeter of the pitch. And protective mats have all been put down for the machinery. Next week, they will see dividing walls being done in the stands. The pitch, and the pitch will be removed. There we go. And work will begin on the redecoration of the carrier beams, which are the ones that go underneath the top tiers. So they're on track so far. They have said that they've identified some areas of what they call soft spots, where the soil isn't compacted enough, but they'll work on that. And they'll keep us posted on what's happening.
Well, you can see from what they've done previously that they don't mess about, do they? These contracts that we've got in now. Remind me of the name. It's not Buckingham, is it?
They haven't given us the name. They've just said it's. I believe it's people that have worked on Premiership stadiums.
They don't mess about, do they? You can tell from what they were doing before. Yeah.
Look, we had this promise that after the last game of the season, this work would start. Not only has the work started, we've already had an update. Which is no more than what we want.
That's all we want. It's a bit of communication. It's a bit of
just
open
communication.
line. It saves people rumours starting. It saves people, going like, oh, is it starting? Is it not? At least it's right. This is what's happening. We'll update you. When is it due to be finished?
If you go by the timeframes they originally gave, I think they want to do a test game before pre-season, and then sign-off was expected for September in the Tilton, and then November. I believe after the international break for the rest of the stand. It's obviously all weather dependent and what they find as they go along. It might speed up, it might be short and long, or we just don't know.
That's all we want, isn't it? That's all Blues fans want. It's just the stability and knowing what's going on. It's so
it is what
but what other fans are getting them. You just don't see anyone there.
What I'm impressed about is that they have identified soft spots and they've told us. Yeah?
I think the majority of the worst of it, though, they're through it, aren't they? Because they've obviously inspected underneath the stands and everything. And they've already made a start. You know, all the seats have gone out before this phase, haven't they? So, you know, I'd like to think now we're going to... Well, they gave us dates, didn't they? I think it was September for the Tilton to open. and by the end of November for the Cop, wasn't it? The rest of it. They're not putting safe standing across the Cop, are they? It's just beyond the goal.
No,
beyond
it's
Tilton.
only going behind the goal, but also it will be in the away stand. So under the football regulations, they have to give a percentage of safe standing to away fans as well. So the bottom half of the railway will also have it.
Oh, right.
So I wasn't aware of that. I didn't realise.
So same as all the other
whenever you go
stadiums.
away from home, normally, like Cardiff and that do it now.
Because I know at Molyneux, for example, not a good name to say in here or no, but I'm sure the away and there.
Oh, it's down the side, yeah.
Yeah, but they haven't got any safe standing there.
Nah.
So,
you know.
But they only have to put safe standing in that if you've got safe standing in that home end.
But they have. They've got it behind both goals in the lower tier. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a strange one. And if we have to do it, then why haven't they got it?
Perhaps Premier rules are different. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Dave Twine said the builders are actually called Stand By Me.
Stand by me.
Oh, really?
Right, here we go. For the next 5 minutes, we'll have some funny builders' names, please. Funny builders' names.
Well, we're having the first 15 as well as the last of this show, are we?
Well, we'll just have a laugh on the way through, Paul. It don't really matter, does it? So, can anybody think of another construction company which has a little bit of a twang on it? And just write them down and let us know. Stand by me.
Is there no more rumours about moving the stadium? Like moving premises? Or is that's just gone under the
That's going to
carpet
go.
now?
As Craig updated us last week, apparently that's not going to happen.
Yeah, the new owners have said, or potential new owners, let's get that out there. They've said that no, there's nothing in the rumours at all.
Nothing in that rumour, yeah, fair enough.
They'll always look to the future. I mean, I'll never say never. I just don't think they'll invest the money now and just go away from it.
Yeah, it's at least their priorities at the minute.
What would a new stadium cost?
Depends on the size of the ones, isn't it?
Yeah. 50 million at least,
Cost
then.
about 290 million, didn't it?
So how much would it cost to improve St Andrews?
14 and
Isn't it
6.
5 million?
It's 5 mil to do the work that
So,
they're doing.
but let's say if we knock down the main stand, which is a dinosaur, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And if that was rebuilt, we'd probably do that for what? 20 million? 10, 20 million?
Yeah.
So I'd rather do that and spend the extra 30 million on the squad if we can.
25 maximum.
Yeah.
So we've had Budget and Scarpa, Taylor Wimpy.
We can't knock down the main stand though. Is that was one of the things that was said, wasn't it? That because of the listed buildings,
behind
to work on the main stand.
Yeah, but couldn't they work with what we've got though? Anyway, surely they can make that look better, whatever they do. Even if they just change the roof.
And build a stand behind and then just slot it in.
Yeah.
Well,
just whatever they've done at Solly, what they've done at Solly or Moors would look better than what's there now.
Well, liquor paint would be looking better than what we've got.
Because they just paint it would be better.
Yeah.
Paint it.
They need to paint the whole stadium. That's what they need to do.
I think Armty Linders won the competition with. I think Armty Linders won the competition with Troutini.
Blues.
Nice.
Nice pocket boys.
It's just that roof, isn't it? That asbestos roof.
Yeah.
It's
Oh god, yeah.
that's what needs changing.
Yeah.
Even if they just changed the roof and left the stand as it is. Blimey, yeah.
Pete Taylor saying 35 million spending on the stadium would not affect FFP spent on the squad. It would, Paul.
Would it?
Anything to do with the stadium, actually, they've announced will not have an impact on FFP. However,
on the squad it would, okay, I see what he's saying, yeah.
Right up against it, I think, going into next season as well, because the figures I saw earlier on were something like 4 million, and that's all they've got that they can go into debt. So they've got to find £21 million straight off somewhere.
Yeah.
However, new owners have put in 50 million straight off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just...
I mean, they will come in. I think they will come in and have an instant impact. I think there will be. They're going to give the place a lift, aren't they? But at the same time, they can only work to their means, and it's going to take time to get to where they want to be. I would have thought.
There's not a bottomless pit, is it? That's the worry everyone's on social media, like we said last week. People think there's a bottomless pit of, money and good times, but it's not going to happen like that. It's going to be gradual.
But seeing Luton and Coventry in the past,
absolutely, yeah,
gives you hope.
You don't need to spend millions in this league.
No, I mean, you look at someone like Stoke, who has spent 40 million in recent years.
Yeah.
On the squad.
Yeah.
And look where they are.
I
It doesn't guarantee anything.
One place of horse, wouldn't they?
I think so.
Last week, how good a team that they are in League One, and that if you choose correct players, that you can form a team.
Yeah.
Because they just blew Sheffield Wednesday away.
Yeah.
That game, they've got that bloke up front. They've got the wingers and everything. If you go lower league, I can't see you can get someone for 500,000.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the Brentford style, isn't it? The Brentford way.
Yeah.
Just getting players from lower league and
Absolutely.
abroad and then building them
Like
up,
Brighton
getting a
do
profit.
it. Brighton do it.
Bournemouth
They sell somebody for 50, but they'll grab someone for 6. I know it's obviously different amounts of money, but it can be done. Then you make them better.
Yeah, we're pretty good in the loan market, aren't we? We've always seemed to succeed in getting loan players. It's really good at. Remember the days when we had Larson, Mwamba, and Bentner? They were flying as soon as they came in.
Yeah.
We just need to start keeping them, though. I think we need to.
Yeah, this is the issues we have, isn't it?
We're making them, and then
we're making them, and then they're just heading off elsewhere.
Yeah. Some good names coming through, but I just love Checker Trade Undoy. I think that's absolutely superb. Mark Brooks.
Yeah, that's very good.
Very good indeed.
You may have been knocked off the top spot, Linda.
Yeah, must try harder. That's the report, isn't it, for Linda at the moment?
Wilmot Lee Dixon. It's about my best.
That's a good one.
Martin Taylor Woodrow. There's another.
Yeah, so no, it's good to have that hope again, and that I'm not going to say positivity just yet. I'm going to say hope, but I think it is 98% there now. I think we just need the last bit done, don't we, so that we can move on, so that we can
Get
try
over
and
the line.
And what do we have any idea then? Once they do get 47% of the club, what the remaining 53% is going to take for them to get?
Well, they're just saying it's 2 years,
right?
But when we spoke with a few people at the awards ceremony, they were saying that no, they want it done quicker, and I think they will. It's down to that stock exchange listing still. But if they can get away with that or find something to go into, then they'll go a lot quicker. They don't want to stay around.
Yeah.
No.
Tip, ladies and gentlemen, don't ever buy a football club.
unless
you know what you're doing.
Then you're going to be like Man City, but yeah.
And talking to the young kids, a lot of rumours around Joe Bellingham. I, for one, put it out there, if he wants to go to Sunderland and he thinks that Sunderland is bigger and better than Birmingham, then thanks a lot for what you've done, but it's fine, let you go.
There's another team that haven't spent anything on the team really that's in the
Joe
playoffs.
was seen at Sunderland last week, wasn't he?
On Saturday,
He is friends, I believe the family are friends with Tony Mowbray.
He may just have gone
It's
to
Mike
the
Dodds.
game on an invite. He may have just
It's
gone
all
to
the academy that they know the person who does
the
the
guy
academy
runs
and
it.
everything,
Yeah, you're right.
So
Sunderland stole all of the academy people that discovered the Bellinghams.
That's
Took
right.
them to Sunderland. There's 3 of them there.
Well, this is
Well,
the thing. Like Dodds is the assistant manager now at Sunderland, and obviously Mike was big in both Jude and Job's career. Obviously, so
development.
Christian Speakman, who was our academy manager, obviously when they were coming through, he's now director of football at Sunderland. So
there is
some connection there.
he was there last season at the same point.
Yeah, we see Jude at Blues all the time. Doesn't mean he's coming back. I think he's going there because he's more friends with the staff than anything. Honestly.
Do you think Job's a bit uncomfortable being under Jude's shadow, or do you reckon he's not really that affected? Is it not as a bigger Blues fan as Joe? I don't know. I always feel like sometimes if you've got a superstar as a brother,
I think he needs to paint his own picture.
You think so?
It's a bit like Anton and Rio Ferdinand, isn't it? Rio was a Rolls Royce when he was one of the best defenders in the world, and Anton was never going to be that.
He was never going.
And ironically, they play in a similar position, the same thing.
That's true.
In his carbonation.
Joe looks a good player. He looks like he's got potential, but he's never ever going to be Jude. I can see that straight away. But there's nothing wrong with that though. He's done incredibly well to get in our first team, and he just for me he just needs to stick where he is and go into next season and see if he can cement that shirt as an automatic starter.
He's got an opportunity to do it. They say the world's at your oyster, and it is for him. It's his feet, and if he can carry on the way that he has done this season, you're right. He's never going to be as good as his brother, but he can progress, he can get to these teams and have an opportunity.
And have a good career.
In Jude's position in the world at the moment, there's probably only Kevin De Bruyne that's as good, if not better, isn't there? Is anyone else as good as them two?
Haaland from Man City.
The thing
He's
with
a striker, though.
Jude had the opportunity.
I'm on about in midfield. I'm on about in every position. Obviously, I'm on about as an attacking midfielder. There's only Kevin De Bruyne and Bellingham at that level for me. Is anyone else? Can you think of anyone else as good as them two?
I can't top my head.
Anyone else? Am I missing anyone? Sam, what do you think?
You're probably right.
Can't think of it off the top of my head. No. You mentioned those two. No.
Mark, what do you think? Mark Meredith.
No, I'm with you. I think those two would be definitely the top two in the world right now.
Yeah.
You struggle to think of any, wouldn't you?
Modric has been put out there, but I think he's coming to the back end of his career as well, though.
The back end of his career.
I'd have been
That's
right
why
up there.
Real Madrid want Jude, because he's the replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have been right up there, Mark, if I weren't 61 and I wasn't so fat and ugly.
I watched Dortmund play last weekend, and the commentators, because they dropped a point and they slipped behind Bayern, or they're under pressure, they're stuttering, they absolutely wiped the floor with the opposition. And Jude was the best player on the pitch by a mile.
Yeah.
He scored 2 fabulous goals. He was just in charge. He looked, give me the ball, like De Bruyne. He was like De Bruyne, and he's got a bit more pace and a bit more strength than him. And it was breathtaking.
Yeah.
I just said to people, he's the best footballer this country has ever seen, or certainly will be.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember Duncan Edwards and Bobby Charlton and you name it. But this guy is something. He's from a different planet. He really is.
He is.
And that game last week, I sat there open mouthed. It was fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
I hope they manage to play in England together.
Yeah, I'd like to see that, actually.
I
Yeah,
hope
the two
they
brothers.
manage to play in the same
Job and
team
Jude.
as
Yeah.
England, Jude and Job. I think that would just be brilliant. But I think we haven't seen the best of Job yet.
No,
He's still young.
he's had
If you
snippets,
put him in the
hasn't he?
side
Snippets.
week in, week out, I think he will become quality.
No, he could get to that level. He's got the potential
Yeah.
to do that.
He's young,
isn't he?
very young. Isn't
Oh,
he?
yeah.
Maybe, isn't he?
Yeah, but do you agree with that, Alan, what I've just said? De Bruyne and Bellingham, the best two in the world at the moment in that position. Is there anyone
can't
else
think
I'm
of
missing?
Oh, if Jude goes to Man City,
Bloody
He
hell.
won't go there.
it would be frightening, wouldn't it?
No title race anymore. I don't
Those
think.
two together. Goodness me.
What's their percentage rate for the sell-on clause?
I think it's 15, isn't it?
It's 15 if it goes
Oh,
into
that
Europe.
ain't too bad, is
If he
it?
goes to Madrid, it's
If he
more.
goes
Yeah.
abroad, it's more.
Oh, it's more if it goes abroad. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
I believe it's 10%
We get-
if it comes to the Premier League and 15 if he stays in
The
Europe.
thing with he's a sensible lad as well, so I don't think he'd rush into anything. I think if he moves, he'll make sure it's the right move for him.
and does that only happen the once on one move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
one
Oh,
off.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, even Steven Gerrard after the last England game, they interviewed him, didn't they? And Gerrard was there, and he said, "You're better than I was at 19."
Better than I was, yeah.
Even Gerrard was blown away by
Well,
him.
listen to this, and Nigel Mann. He says, "I can see Joe being better than his brother." What's his space? ...
He was. When he was in the academies, they were actually more raving about
Yeah,
Joe than
yeah,
they were
yeah.
Jude when he was
Wow.
younger.
His,
Well, I'll certainly hope he is then.
His
I'd
birthday
say.
falls at a different time of the year, doesn't it? So, although he's 17, he was 17 in the middle of the season, where Jude was 17 in the close season. So he started after his 17th birthday. And basically, Joe is 6 months behind that because his birthday.
Oh, he's
fell.
not on the same. Yeah, got you.
And he's, everybody. Oh, he's 17. Jude was doing this, that, and the other. But Jude had been in the team a year
Yeah.
by the time he was 17, whereas Joe, 17th birthday, he'd only played. Well, he'd had a few sub appearances, hadn't he? And he's only just got a regular shop in the team, and he's, as I say, he's probably a year behind.
Yeah.
In that sense. So we are hoping a bit. I mean, when Sunderland say they're willing to pay £300,000 for him, which game do they want him for? Because
Exactly.
that's just a joke, and it's just nonsense.
Is he on
basically.
professional terms yet, though?
I think he is, but he's
I think
because
he
of
is.
his
Yeah,
age.
his contract finishes at the end of next season.
Next season, yeah.
And then
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what's nice?
I mean,
what's
they
nice-
will up it at the end of this season anyway. They'll give him a rise in pay, whether it's whatever it might be.
Minimum wage.
You can't let him play for 150 quid a week like they did for Joe for the first half of the season.
Can I ask as well? Sorry, Alan. Can I ask a question as well? Is Jude the best you've ever seen from our academy, or would you say that's Trevor?
Trevor,
I'm leaning towards Jude, because if you think what Trevor had done by the time he was 19, right? He just about got into a Premier League or First Division side by then.
Yeah.
This guy is playing and Trevor was 25 before they picked him for England.
Right.
This guy's been in the side since he was 17. And he's a major part. Trevor, all the times he played for England, was never a major player.
No,
he was.
no.
He was. You know, if they lost, he'd get left out.
Yeah.
You know, there were certain players that Mick Shannon, Alan Clark, blah blah blah. They were in regardless. Trevor won 52 caps. He should have won 152 caps.
Yeah.
And Joe will. He'll break all.
All records.
International cap records.
Also, Alan, something
started so early. If he plays till he's 33, 15 years, 10 matches a year, which they do, he ain't far short of 150, is it?
Something else to consider, though, the style and the management of football, and they didn't have sports scientists and psychologists, and, you know, flat pitches. you know, it was a big difference back in the 70s to what it is now.
Plus the fact as well, I think a lot of people compare them, but they're two different positions. So the
They
older
are,
generation
yeah.
say, "Oh, Trevor's the great." I mean, obviously we're all, apart from Chris and Nick, you know, we're all too young to have seen Trevor. But
Yeah, thanks.
sorry, but you know, the
How
older
old are you? How old are we?
hang on a minute, yeah, there's a bit of a gap between us and Claire as well. But
Let's play the guy. Guess the age game.
They have said, you know, Nigel Mann again. Job will outshine his brother, hands down. I back him any day. I can see his potential.
I hope he's right, because he has to be one hell of a player.
It's a big claim.
One hell
Isn't
of
it?
a player if he does.
When
If he's half as good as his brother,
Yeah.
he'll be some player.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. If he reaches that level,
Yeah.
you know, Birmingham
Yeah.
City will be well off with him, with that sort of player in the side.
I
And he
think
certainly,
you'll-
if we're going to flog him, you know, it won't be 30 million. It'll be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
A lot more than that.
From
If
what
he
I've
stays
seen-
around for a couple of years.
From what I've seen
Will
so
we
far.
retire his shirt too?
Sorry, Claire.
Yeah.
yeah, number 27's going as well.
Yeah,
27
yeah.
on, yeah.
From what I've seen so far, it's looking like a similar sort of pan-out career to Rio and Anton
It is,
Ferdinand.
yeah,
he
it's a
does.
good
That's what I
comparison,
see as
yeah.
well.
When they were together outside after that last game, the one thing you can see was that they were both just completely grounded. So their parents have done a phenomenal job with both of them.
Yeah.
You know, their dad was in the car and he was like, "They're not going to come until they've signed everything." I've already said it, and it's like, you just didn't believe it, but it surely was.
Yeah.
So everybody had got what they wanted. They moved nowhere, but they were talkative. They were open to everybody. They didn't shy away from anything. It just too
Was
incredible.
you starstruck?
I wasn't starstruck, no, but I think the kids were. That's sort of, but it was interesting because a lot of kids radiate towards Job because he's still at the club. Whereas it's like, you know, it was the girls. My two girls were just totally in awe of Jude. It was like, oh, it's Jude, that's it. But
Yeah, sorry, Chris, can you scroll up one or two? Interesting point here from Pete Taylor. Problem with Job is that he's shot up to 6'3", taller than Jude before his body is fully developed.
yeah,
There's that.
Very
That's
interesting
a factor as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was
He's
that cool.
outgrown his strength a little bit, but he'll catch up. He'll catch up.
Yeah, a couple of
Oh,
steaks during the summer every year.
Yeah, he was so small at first.
Yeah.
And a tiramisu.
Oh, I used to be
he needs-
6'6".
He just needs to stay where he is, Job, and cement his place in our team.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't done that yet, has he? He's not a
No, he
regular
hasn't.
starter in our team.
No.
So he started the last sort of, what, 3 or 4 games for us, was
About
it?
last four games.
So he needs to make that shirt his own in our team for a
Yeah.
season, and then see how he goes from there.
See how it goes from there, yeah.
You know, I look forward to seeing him score his first goal for us. And
That'd be a great, it'd be a
sort
great
of
moment,
thing.
wouldn't it? Just
Yeah.
like when Jude did.
Yeah, because obviously if he does move on somewhere else,
Yeah.
then Jude will probably start going to watch him there instead of coming
See,
to ours.
it's that first goal in front of the Tilton, isn't it? You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's my moment. That
Yeah,
is,
absolutely.
you know, I might only be 17 years old, and I'm not, because somebody actually wanted to know how old I really was, and I'm 61. I was 61 on Christmas Day, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I've ever mentioned that
You
before.
just look a
Mark.
lot older.
And
You look fantastic.
you know,
We'll get the prizes out.
Thank you. Yeah, but
Sam,
with,
there's no prizes for sucking up to Nick, please. You know, it's not allowed.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No point either.
We'll have no sucking on this show.
You can have a squeeze with Lucasade later.
Thank you.
They're all the best.
We need to point out, Chris, as well, that background behind Sam, because that's some quality shirts
It's
behind
brilliant.
it.
Hang on, let's get it zoomed in. There we go.
Can we name the season for each shirt?
There all day getting that ready.
Can we,
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say all
He's
day.
been on him since 6 o'clock this morning, ironing them as well. Yeah.
He's even printed the names on the back for himself as well. It's absolutely
I
superb.
have, yeah.
I can see do, Gary. I can see Purse.
Hang on, go on, Sam. Go on, Sam. Go on, Sam.
I said that one's Darren Purse's player 1 against Watford. McSheffrey was signed at the shop. Do you remember they used to do the signing?
Yeah.
Dougaree's made by myself, and then the other one's made by myself, and I've got another Damari Gray.
Oh, yeah.
Saying that, no one mentioned Damari Gray. He was a player, wasn't he? When he came through.
When he wanted to be, yeah, he was in and out a bit. When he was on it, he was
Yeah, I
quality.
think
that Wolves game.
Reading hat-trick
And
as
that
well.
Wolves game as well. When he came back against Wolves.
He absolutely destroyed Fulham
Yeah, he
away
did.
as well when we beat
Yeah, I
them
went to
2.
that one.
I actually thought that Solomon was going to come through next.
Yeah.
So he had bits and pieces under Monk, where he started to play him and he scored a past Norwich, I think.
Yeah. Where's he now? What's happened to him?
He's in
It
Bulgaria.
didn't happen.
Is it?
He's in Bulgaria, yeah.
He's in
Pete Taylor
Bulgaria,
says
yeah.
the
But
shirt
he
names.
looked a player,
Pete Taylor says the shirt names are there to help you out in the squad.
Would you have Redmond back?
I would. I'd snap him up there.
yeah,
I'd have him back
shout, yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because he's out of contract, I think, in the summer.
He is in his 30s now.
And he's 30 now, but it just
Well,
makes
I
you
wouldn't
wonder.
stop
I missed who that was, sorry.
No.
Nathan Redmond.
He is 30 now.
I'd have him back out.
He wouldn't come back though, would he? Because he can't have number 22 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can't have it, yeah.
Yeah. Just going back onto that a minute, sorry. I know Jude's very precious, isn't he, about that number?
Yep.
If you played, whenever you play, would you be bothered about what number you had and what number would you have?
Yeah.
Yeah, who said yeah?
Claire.
Claire, go on. What would your number be?
Well, when I used to play, I used to be number 5 because I was centre back.
Okay. So you always have to have number 5?
It's my favourite number.
Yeah, I like 18 because that's my daughter's birthday.
I like number 9.
I personally don't like squad numbers.
No?
I don't.
No
I
number.
mean that. I'd love to see a 1 to 11 on the pitch every week. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I love bingo numbers.
Fair enough.
No, because you know what position they're playing in as well, don't you? Right. I'm getting a little bit older, ladies and gentlemen, and the sight's dissipating somewhat over the years, and it becomes more difficult to identify who's who.
There's some good reasons behind some of the players' numbers, though, like Phil Foden, 47. That was his uncle, wasn't it? Who sadly passed away quite young. I think that was the age he passed away, wasn't it?
And Jude's was made up of all the different positions that he'd always talks about playing.
Yeah,
So it's the
6, 8,
numbers.
and 6, 8, and 10 in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, was that
yeah.
where it's from? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Didn't Marlon for Jamaica, Marlon King, have 8+1?
No, that was Morrison,
I
wasn't it?
remember Peter Morrison
Morrison
having...
was
I think Marlon did it as well.
Yeah,
a few
that was
games.
quality, that was.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, because Brian Hughes was number 10 when
That's right,
Clinton
yeah.
wanted it, and then he
Yeah, he
had...
did it. But no, Marlon did it for Jamaica as well.
Because he had 1+9, didn't he?
Oh, did it?
Clinton?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's quite a lot of people backing me up on that one. I didn't think I thought it would go the opposite way, to be honest with you. So no, Linda Magno with Nick back to that numbers 1 to 11, me too, Nick. Yeah, so you know what
I'll have
position you should
players'
be
age
playing.
on the back of mine.
You know what was that, Mark?
I'll have
Players'
players'
age.
age on the back of mine. Nobody knows what it is.
You don't
You know what? Say it again,
Is
mate.
that,
Oh, no.
is that your age?
Nobody knows me age. you can ask
Just
anyway.
mention Paul Caddy's.
Oh, yeah.
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 You ain't that old.
Yeah. I like the
Nick,
look.
can I-
He was
Nick, can I ask you, how did you get on when they didn't wear numbers at all?
You tell me, because that was before my time.
When did they spend?
When was that?
When was that? Yeah.
No, but can you?
1820.
When was that? Before the war.
1800.
The year Auntie Linda was born.
Can you imagine what it would be like going to a match where nobody got a number on, and they read the team? They
No.
obviously read the team out. You wouldn't know one from another, would you?
No.
We'd have been all right. We'd have been all right with Chonga Hannibal, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but which one was which?
Talking now, do you think Hannibal will come? Do you think there's any way of Hannibal coming back?
I think he wants to, doesn't he?
He wants to, doesn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't really.
I'm
asked.
not-
seems
I
to come
reckon.
club, isn't
There was an article by Bull, the old Albion Sheffield Wednesday player, the black guy, saying, advising him to stay.
Oh, Carlton Palmer.
Whether
yeah.
it be
Carlton Palmer said that. Yeah.
whether it be on loan or permanent, his advice for his career was to stay at Birmingham.
Right.
With Hannibal, I get Savage vibes. just that when I think it was one of the last few games of the season when he put a challenge in and then he absolutely went raw to the band.
Millwall, wasn't it?
Robbie
Millwall.
Savage would have done that.
I love that.
Savage with ability. Savage with ability. That's what he is.
That's a player I'd like to see there next season. I'd like to
He's
see
51 now, isn't he?
No, but Savage's son.
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie is at Man U, went to Forest Green on loan for
He's
the end of
whose
last
son,
season.
sorry?
Robbie Savage's. But apparently he's like his dad, very, very similar in terms of the midfield stature, and I'd like to see him have a crack.
But we definitely don't want Dion Dublin as a manager, do we?
No, it'd be interesting to see what sort of market, what players we're in the market for. I'm obviously not expecting us to be bidding 10, 12 million for players, but
we've
if
had
we can
a
get a
few-
couple in for a couple of million or something.
We've had a few surprises out there. I mean, no one expected Troy, really.
Because it's going to be a complete departure now, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many? About 12 players leaving?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Through the
David
loans?
Twine. Ladies and gents, Wiki was the first record of numbered jerseys in football dating back to 1911.
Blimey.
What year was it when the names came on?
So Watto was still alive.
1993.
93, yeah. I remember
When the Premier League started.
Was the season after?
we
the
had
second
it,
season,
we had
93,
it,
94.
we had it in the Coca-Cola Cup game, remember, against Plymouth. Because I remember Chris White running out with
Blues
his
side.
Huggy on the back, Huggy
Did
Bear,
Blues
and I remember,
have
oh
the
yeah.
names when the documentary was like, did Birmingham City have a documentary in the 90s?
I think that was the same year, I
Barry
think.
Fry, that was.
Yeah.
Barry Fry.
No, that was the year after, wasn't it?
That was
Yeah.
Karen. Was
That was
that
the
Karen
year.
Brady?
Karen and
Karen
yeah.
Brady, yeah.
Karen Brady, wasn't it? It was. What was it called?
The Managerial.
That was it.
I'm sure you'll get it on YouTube.
I've actually got a recording of it on a video
Wasn't that the introduction?
from Gabby who was in it.
Yeah, because Gabby's on it, and Gabby
Panorama,
Yes,
Panorama,
of course
wasn't
it
it?
was,
Yeah.
I love something he said on that, and he said, Blues fans are bored, not manufactured.
Yeah.
So true.
I'll tell you a little secret, and for those who've watched it, if you watch it right to the end, Gabby he goes down, he goes off in his
taxi
cab,
at the end, yeah.
and he gets to the end, he turns around, he actually breaks down.
Does it?
His cab breaks down, yeah. Then they cut it then.
I thought you meant literally then, because you'd just been
No,
to a game.
no, that was after.
It was a Kidderminster game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Dom Kavanagh, I agree with the Clark Harris from Peterborough. I think
That'd be a
he's
good sign,
definitely
yeah.
on our books, and the linkage to Barry Fry for me is that opening opportunity.
Absolutely.
Do you think he's going to cost too much though, like Tony?
Probably.
Because he scored like 29 goals this season. They're not going to let him go for cheap, are they?
If the new owners want to do something though,
They can't, they can't, can they? They've got to.
it's down to how they play it, isn't it? They can't pay the money, but they can pay a decent signing on fee and lower the amount of money
But
that they pay.
there's also the possibility, obviously, of Peterborough getting into the Championship.
I still think he'll move, even if they get promoted. And they did look very good the other night.
They did
in
look
playoffs.
really good, yeah.
But I do think he will still move on because he's capable of becoming better. But Fry said that himself as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it'd be interesting. See, like I said, see what market we're in, what kind of players we're going in for, that sort
What
of thing.
about the free transfer market? Like I looked at it the other day. Like Curtis Davis and Adam Flint and those centre backs that we've been linked with in the years. I don't know if that's worth a pop again for another year, or are they too old and out of it now?
Possibly
Curtis Davis. Yeah, I don't know how old. He's probably
37 he is. 37 now, yeah.
Listen, I wouldn't fancy playing professional football when I was 37. Mind you, I wouldn't be able to play it when I was 20.
But these are athletes. They're athletes, aren't they?
I think the aged defence, particularly, we've suffered from that. We've had some good players over 30 in that back line, but eventually, you've got to find some. I mean, if we could have Sanderson and Trusty as our middle two, both in their early 20s, that would be better than having, as well as he played, Mark Roberts and Kevin Long, who were tremendous for a couple of months together.
Yeah.
If you could have those two, and there's not much in it between who would be the best pairing. But you'd want the younger pair. You want them for 5 or 6 years. There's the older guys, Harley Dean as well. Really, their time's up, and we did with the guy that went to Reading, Morrison. He's still got some miles in the tank,
and he knew that if he went elsewhere, he'd get a decent contract, and he'd see out those 2 or 3 years on decent money. Well, we wouldn't give him a 3-year contract, would we?
No.
We wouldn't give any of those older players 3-year contracts because you don't know when they're,
I think
we don't know whether they're going to finish. It can go like that at that age. So if you get them out of the club when they've still got some value, you might get a few quid for them, but you don't have to pay them that extra money that they expect because they've been with the club for 4 or 5 years. They can go and get that somewhere else.
I think looking back though, sorry, Claire.
I was going to say, I think what we need to try and actually do is we've got lots of youngsters and lots of old. We need to fill the gap in the middle. So, 23 to 27, 28.
It'll be like this show, this is, huh?
Yeah.
And you took the words right out of my mouth.
That's when they're in their prime, isn't it? So, if you need that gap, because at the moment we either play teenagers or old.
Or very old.
Yeah, true.
And there's no middle, actually.
What do you call old?
Somebody at 25, 6 years, then you can then...
Yeah.
What does Claire consider to be old?
For a footballer?
No, like for
no,
footballer,
I'm asking
like
you a question.
32, 33, you're hitting like Troy Deeney just came just as a, look, I play for my boyhood club. Obviously he's up to manage Walsall, isn't he?
Well, there was I read that just a little while ago, and I can't scroll up again, Chris Forbes, mate. Chris,
I think Bellick's huge for us. I think he's the one that you would certainly go back.
He's the right age.
Yeah, be a good signing.
Yeah,
brilliant signing.
100%.
Trusty's the ultimate one for me, though.
Don't get me wrong, I love Sanderson and Trusty and them. I just think Bellick made the difference there in that defensive mid. I think he'd be my first choice straight away.
Absolutely.
But sorry, Craig, I think back to some of the best seasons that I've witnessed as a Blues fan, and we've had at least 2 or 3 players in the team that were like early to mid 30s. You can go back to the Carling Cup, Boya, Carr. You can go back to the first promotion.
I'm not saying
season.
they shouldn't be there, but what I'm saying is they shouldn't be there forever.
No.
You get to a point where you know that there's not much left, and if you move them out, they will have a longer career, and you bring in another 30-year-old, to replace the 32-year-old. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I'm talking about age. What about Djukovic? He's still.
Well, Nigel Mann's asked the
season,
question, guys. Has Dukey got another season in him?
But
absolutely,
He wants another year, doesn't he? That's the vibe we got at the awards, anyway.
I'm not sure about being our main vocal point for every game, like he has been for the last 12 games, and he's done it incredibly well, by the way.
Just one more year.
He definitely needs some sort of help, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
To be honest, I think if you get a fully fit Scott Hogan, it's not a bad striker there, He's scored over 10 goals again this year, and he's been injured a lot of it. I think if you get him fully fit after surgery, I think he'll have a good season for you.
Yeah,
well,
100%.
You're more or less guaranteed double figures, aren't you? They always say double figures for a striker, so...
There's a couple of people mentioning Sunic and the fact that his loan period's coming to an end, and would we take him back? And I think it's a great point that Linda Magnus made, which is she thinks it worked better under decent management and people that are actually going to give him some training and understand what he's got to do.
He looked a bright spot when he came, didn't he?
He's a good ball winner. He's a good ball winner, Sonny. He's not brilliant with the ball at his feet, but that's he scored the odd cracker like, but he's hit the odd shot right, isn't he? But overall, his game is just getting stuck in and winning possession back for you, and he does it well.
Passing it wrong. I'd have another look in, to be fair.
So
I would, because he played in Sri Lanka last time, so
does it ever work though, a player coming back ever? Not very often.
Well, he still has technically, and he's been on loan. We've paid 7 million for him, haven't we?
Record time.
He fell out. I can't remember now who he was playing for. Someone in Germany. He fell out with the manager. The manager dragged him off when he was having a crap game. And they fell out big style. So he's not likely to be staying there very much longer.
Yeah.
Claire, Mike Woods wants to know if that's vodka you've got in your cup because it's going down really well.
It's going down, well, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had my second one.
I want to know why she hasn't got a Tilton talk show mug like everybody else.
I'm waiting.
Get it out.
I feel like
you got your Tilton talk badge yet? I've got the badge.
I've got one here in America. I got one
The
here in
badges are
America. You
barred.
live 10 minutes down the road.
I know.
Have we got the schedule, Craig? We're following a script today, aren't we? So
that went out the window after about 10
I
minutes.
know, yeah. So
I would say
we're going to do. What's the script? Yeah, I know.
Script.
We're going to do another start sub sal, aren't we?
Oh yes, we are. Yeah.
we're going to do that, but also got to say we've got just over 20 minutes left. If you want to put in your offer for the signed ladies shirt, so it's in the auction. If you want to do it, message me and we'll let you know.
What's it up to at the moment?
Oh, look at that.
So
smart,
which
isn't it?
camera are we on? So
There you go.
No, turn it round.
Yeah.
No, back again. There we
there
go.
you go.
Claire's mug.
Claire's mug.
Hey!
And on the other
there you
side, there's your Tilton Talk badge.
How nice is that?
Thanks, guys.
You owe me £13.50.
I'll buy
going in
you a
the
few
kitty.
pints of the day. Okay.
Actually, the play sub sell is a toughie.
I hate it.
Oh, it's
Well, I try and make it, if I said do Gary, Jonathan Lecco, or do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous, isn't it? So
Yeah, you
I try and make it as
you
close
start
as I
Lecco
can.
every week, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Announce what it is today, then, Paul.
So this week we're going to go for Kevin Francis, Dele Adibola, or Nikola Zigic. Start sub sell. Which one you starting? Which one's the sub, and which one you selling? Big Kev.
Zigic every day.
Start
Start Ziggy.
Ziggy over
Yeah.
Dele
I'd start Dealey and have
and
Ziggy
over Big
sub.
Kev. And over Big Kev, yeah.
Dealey for me to start.
Dealey, Ziggy.
Big Kev on the bench.
Yeah.
And I'd sell
You tell Ziggy.
Zigic.
You think
Yeah,
Zigic?
I'm going with Craig, definitely that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Big Kev was better than Zigic?
I like that. I think I'm going with Craig, but I think that the Zigic one's difficult because he just scored so many important goals for us.
Yeah, he was the big man.
But they were that important that people forget the 4 he got at Leeds.
Yeah, I know. And that was perfect.
Sorry,
yeah.
The thing with Adibola, he was at the club at the time when we had Furlong, he was on fire, and then Unlove coming in from the wide.
I know.
It was really hard at the time we had Adibola.
It's unbelievable, Sam, that we didn't get promoted, isn't it, with that squad?
I know.
Oh God, do you remember when Francis played all 3 of them?
Yeah, I was
Playoffs
devastated.
against
I was at
something.
Wolves.
And I was like, yes, we've got this in the back.
Yeah, we battered Wolves away. We battered the Baggies at home and
Yeah.
away.
Yep.
Dealey
You know,
had score against Albion every time.
Every
he played
time.
them, Yeah.
Honestly, he
Yeah,
was
he
frightening.
Nigel Mann, how did you spot the A that's been added? You are correct. It actually does say Claire is a mug. Yes.
What we got? We got some early
Well,
entries.
Pete
Start sub sell.
Taylor, start Zigic,
Yeah.
Big. Hang on, where's that gone? Start Zigic, sub Dealey, sell Francis, Lilypad, start Big Kev, Dealey bench, sell Zigic, Dealey to start for Mick Greaves, but he's not come on with the other ones. Good grief, there's a lot of people on screen from Adam Wilkes.
Yeah.
I'd just get rid of Francis.
See, Big Kev was a legend, though, wasn't he? I mean, he
Yeah, he
wasn't
was,
the
to be
greatest, but
fair.
he was.
He was.
Was he
some
good
big
before
goals
my
as
time?
well.
Yeah.
Was he a good player, Francis?
No.
Slightly
He wasn't
before my
when-
time.
I mean, that goal against Leeds and the Coca-Cola, that was.
He
That
wasn't
Coca-Cola
he wasn't
one,
quality,
he was
was he?
quality.
But he had the love for the club and he's
Yeah.
That's about all.
He
Michael-
had more,
Michael Woods,
he
here
had
we
more
go.
ability than people gave him credit for.
Yeah, we've got a
You
few
know,
more coming in,
he
guys.
scored goals. He scored lots of goals.
Yeah.
Obviously he was a tall man, but he wasn't the worst on the floor either. He scored goals, one-on-ones and all sorts. And I'd have him as my keep start. And I'll tell you why, because the other two, and you can switch them around, they were a bit inconsistent. You never quite knew which Delhi you were going to get. The powerful, people that he'd knock people about, or the next week he'd be a big pussycat and he gets shook around himself.
Yeah.
And obviously,
I wouldn't want to tell him that, Lloyd, but yeah.
I do hope he's listening.
It just so happens, there's a knock at the door.
it was a bit
A knock on
the
Alan's door.
Parties
same.
also
He didn't
outside.
fancy it. He went missing occasionally. Shall we?
Yeah,
think?
because I think
Yeah.
he fell out of League Cup,
Kevin
didn't
Francis gave you everything every game.
Yeah.
We want wins.
Yeah, Tim Faraday said you would keep all 3 of them just in case we bought Mark Sale.
Yeah. My biggest disappointment with Dealey was the Worthington Cup final. 'Cause he only lasted the first half, and I don't think he barely touched the ball, and he was like you say, he was like a big pussycat that day. And,
Did the occasion get to him, though?
I think it did.
You know,
Probably against his home because he was from that way, wasn't he?
Can you imagine, right? Even as a human being, right? Walking out to that crescendo of absolute noise before that game started.
That was great atmosphere.
That was just something else. Well, you all know me and me.
Go on, goosebumps.
Oh, where's me cat? Where's me cat tonight?
We've superimposed the picture, Nick. You can't see it, but we can.
And that actually was Chris Glenn.
It was actually, yeah.
Michael said he'd start Dealey, Sub-Zigic and Sal Francis. Adam Wilkes says it depends on which board was in charge. They'd sell the lot of them and say, no, you can't have the money back, and have some loan players. Michael Woods said he remembers Big Kev destroying Brentford even when he was injured.
Did we come up with a midfield in the Hall of Fame 11?
We did have one in the end. And before you ask, no, I can't remember.
Okay, and so we're going to do a front two.
We've got to do a front two because it's going to be 4-4-2.
Just remember though, it's not just the best. This is like the Hall of Fame, so longevity comes into it, and the word legend obviously is bandied around quite loosely these days. So, you know, I do think that obviously, I guess the automatic one is TF in it.
Yeah. We've got to make it interesting though, because we'll also go with the all-time manager. So the front two,
and the front two, and the Hall of Fame manager.
Yeah.
I'd have to go Jim Smith, the all-time manager.
I'd have to go Steve Cottrell.
We'll have to do that next season. The worst 11.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Good idea.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it? You know, putting people down.
Yeah.
Who would you
Good idea.
Who's your manager then? Jim Smith?
For me,
Bruce.
And I'm McLeish.
Oh no, he went to them.
I know he did, but I'm wiping that out of my brain, Claire, and just thinking about what he did for us.
I know, but you can't.
You can't,
do
can
that,
you, Claire?
though. He went to the other side.
You have another vodka, Claire, I'm with you.
We had Monk for longer. He would have been down, definitely.
And Rowett.
And Rowett, yeah, a bit longer.
Trevor was unlucky when he was the manager.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. They've been playoff hard takes. Couldn't get.
I know. And Brucey
team that got us up as well.
And the first 3 years under Brucey as well were amazing, weren't they? It was like a Galactico era. But then as soon as Savage went, it kind of just all started to go down after that, didn't it?
You see, this is a very difficult one because a lot of the younger people won't remember the likes of Jim Smith.
No. The younger people won't remember bloody Trevor Francis.
Jim Smith. How we held that squad together, over quite a few years. And, for me, any day, I'd have Jim Smith if I possibly could.
There's quite a few people that have put Jim Smith in there. Barry Fry's been mentioned a couple of times.
Karanka for me any day, unshruggable.
But I think Baz deserves to be thrown in there.
Terry Cooper has also been mentioned.
Yeah, Houghton, Steve Portman. I'd forgotten about Chris Houghton. Houghton did really well.
He did have a good season. I think for me, Baz, he signed all them players and he made, a £15 million profit for the club?
For the club,
yeah.
So that deserves, the likes of Daishi and Gary Breen and Steve Claridge, all these great players he signed that were unknowns at the time, really, when we signed them, and then we finished up selling them for big money.
Big money, yeah.
Yeah, at the time.
At the time. Like I say, Daishi ended up at Coventry, didn't he? Going to the Premier League.
And Breen.
And
Claridge went to Leicester.
Claridge went to Leicester, won the League Cup. So, yeah. What about you, Chris?
Jose Dominguez, we got a few bob for him.
Dominguez as well, yeah.
Claridge went to Leicester and won on the horses.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Chris, what was your manager?
I'm actually going to go with Paul. I think I'd have McLeish. McLeish back now, at this moment, I'd have him back.
Just think about finishing 9th in the Prem, going 13 games unbeaten, and obviously winning the League Cup. I know we got relegated as well, in a half a season and a season, but for me the good outweighs the bad.
And he was a boring git, but
he was, but he knew what he was doing, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
So we've got a few people that have said Bruce, Horse and Dougarry as their there's
Bruce up front with Dougarry and Horse the manager.
That's great, isn't it? Yeah.
Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson.
That's worth putting in there.
Was a manager?
No, for the striker. And he cried when he missed that penalty.
Yeah. You know what, Claire? If he'd have stayed
do you
with
remember
us,
when he shaved his head and everything looked like Mooney?
Yeah.
Everything was getting mixed up.
Crystal Palace went
to.
He may make weight for Morrison, Clinton.
Three names here are brilliant. Manager Barry Fry, and then up front Forsell and TF.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Forsell, man, he was electric.
Forsell was unbelievable.
I'm going Mikhail Christoph, and I have to go McLeish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I can only talk from what I've seen.
Nigel Mann says
I worked at the club at that time, and McLeish was just even like on a daily basis. McLeish was just fantastic with everybody. You know, we were in the academy, and the way he brought the academy with the first team was unreal.
Yeah.
Nigel Mann says McLeish went over to the dark side and never to be forgotten.
Come on, we've had players all 100 years ago.
Tim Faraday's gone with Mick Harford and Bob Hatton with Smith as Agapa. They are
toughie, actually.
There are two man mountains there.
Wow.
You get an idea, don't you, of the age sort of range of our audience when you do stuff like this?
Yeah.
You know.
Some are as young as me.
Don Cavanagh's gone for Mick Harford and Savile, hard and great in the air.
Andy Savile.
So,
I wouldn't have him as an all-time great.
Pete Taylor's been drinking the same stuff as Claire because he's turned around and said Brock Madsen and Federico Macchiato.
Makeda was good.
Makeda was decent.
His goals kept us up.
Yeah.
If it weren't for his goals, Caddice's header wouldn't have counted for anything.
Adam Wilkes has gone for Horse and the Force, great pub name.
Yeah.
Ron Saunders as well, coming into the equation from the manager side of things. For me, I've got to say, Steve Bruce, Forsell.
You know what? I was in Mallorca when Steve Bruce was introduced to Bellingham City Football Club, and I'm thinking
as a player, No,
as a player.
As a player.
No,
as a manager.
Was the manager or the player?
Did he brought in? Was it Gary? No, not Gary. Yeah, Gary Ablett.
Oh no, that was when he played.
That
was when he played.
Yeah.
So Trevor was the manager.
Trevor was the manager.
Neil, Bruce, Barry Horn,
and Neil.
Yeah. And I just couldn't. I had to go and buy 3 newspapers to make sure it was true.
Yeah, I remember that summer. Because we signed Furlong as well, didn't we, from Chelsea?
Yeah, striker that hasn't been mentioned.
Yeah.
Still the best goals
per
game ratio.
If he'd have stayed fit for a full season, Trevor would have got promoted with us, I think.
Yeah, I think would have.
Yeah.
I mean,
another person to score really important goals would have been Stern John as well.
That's a great shout, that is.
Kevin Phillips has now been mentioned as well.
I love Phillips.
How many times did he come on, at the death?
Yeah. He was clinical.
And turn a game
Those
around.
goals against Villa.
Scored for us for the Vile though, didn't he?
He did. He scored the winner as well, didn't he?
At St Andrews, yeah.
I loved his cameo against Wolves though, when they thought they were
going
to win 1-0 up with about 20 minutes to go.
And then
he comes on and bang.
That's it.
That was quality, that was.
And against Arsenal, the equaliser.
Yeah.
Nigel Mann said Heskey.
Yeah.
Adam Walsh is going Cameron, Jerome, Donaldson up front, Bruce manager.
So with Heskey, I don't know if everybody else thinks the same, but I changed my opinion.
I don't think he did that.
I thought he ran his what's it off for?
He did.
I think he cared.
He did. The problem was we were relying on him. Solely it was him that we were relying on to score the goals.
Yeah,
to keep
that's
us up.
probably what I was looking at the time.
And if we'd have kept Forsell fit for the season with him,
record with Birmingham was the highest of his career.
I liked it. I really
goals per game.
Changed my opinion on it.
And while he was with us, he played no times for England. As soon as he went to Wigan, they put him back in the team. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Important one, this one. Steve Portman's just mentioned that RPG Promotions have Mick Harford night in September. Look out for that. RPG Promotions.
Okay, yeah.
Dave Twine's gone Marcello and Mooney. Tommy Mooney
was good.
And Marcelo was had a decent record as well, yeah.
You forget. So, I mean, Steve Claridge deserves mentioning in this as well. He was quality, wasn't he? Yeah. He ran his what's-it-off for us.
Yeah, he did.
Younger audiences might say Che Adams because of that one season he did, but that was it.
Marlon King as well.
Marlon King, where he was definitely good forward.
John Gale scoring the best goal you'll ever see at Wembley.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The best goal I've ever seen in my life, mate. I promise you.
I wasn't born.
I'm always up for debate on that one with Gazza's against Scotland for England.
But
could Gazza do it
the other
against
great Wembley goal probably was Paul Gascoigne, if you remember that.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I can tell you, I went to a football match and John Gale and Paul Gascoigne were playing against each other.
Was that Wimbledon?
How about that?
Wimbledon?
The two greatest Wembley goal scorers of all time, and they're on the same pitch together.
Brilliant.
It was Scunthorpe against Middlesbrough in a pre-season friendly. And the two of them were on the pitch. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gents, we've reached that time. It's got to that squeaky bum time for Sam, and even more squeaky for Paul, because...
Is that my phone ringing?
we are at the challenge for squad game.
I feel sick.
Jesus.
I do. I feel sick. Huh?
You're nervous, Sam?
You can see that Paul's legs jumping up and down all over.
I wasn't nervous till he mentioned it. Yeah.
I'm regretting inventing this game now in the first place.
Paul's doing a Russian dance under the table.
Yeah.
So I've got the 2 squads.
Yeah.
Need to toss a coin
We need
first.
to toss a coin. So Mark,
Chris, you got a coin?
I'm on contact. I've only got my card.
You're on contactless. Yeah, toss your card.
Here we go. Paul,
Tails.
get his tails, yes.
I'll go second, please.
Right, okay.
so no pressure here, Sam. No pressure
Okay.
whatsoever. Right.
It's the 2023 squad, Sam.
23,
I'll probably
24.
lose that one actually. I'm better than you.
So Sam, your squad is 1997, 98.
Yeah.
And what was you then, Sam?
98, okay.
And what was you then, mate?
I was about 11, I think.
Oh.
Might just This is going to be close, this is.
Do you think?
I think so.
No, I don't.
Depends what season I've got, doesn't it?
1830.
Sorry, I'll shut up now. Carry on.
So
What? We've got a countdown clock.
I've got a clock. Okay. On your marks, get set, go.
Kevin Paul, Ian Bennett, John Bass, Wassell, Bruce Ablett, Granger, Peirce, Hughes, O'Connor,
He's looking down
Paddy
at a piece of
Bowler,
paper.
Unlove, Furlong, Simon Charlton, blank. It's harder than you think, that is.
It is.
How many you
And
got?
I'm not going to tell you how many you got.
Go on. Oh, you're not?
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you.
I think
I'm
he
going
got
to
between
keep.
9 and 9
He
and
did
12.
well.
He got
That's
between 9 and 15.
That's the biggest challenge I've faced so far, isn't it?
That's a
Yes.
good
Gotta
one.
be.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. That
gotta
is. That's
be.
a good
I
one.
don't think I got any, did I?
We always,
I forgot McCarthy.
Who
John
said that?
McCarthy.
You did forget John McCarthy. You're all right. Right. So Paul,
Yeah.
your squad. 1990, 91.
Oh, that's territory.
Are we ready? On your marks, get set, go.
Martin Thomas, Ian Clarkson, Vince Overson, Trevor Matthewson, John Frayne, David Rennie, Greg Downs, Paul Tate, Louis Donowa, I think, Ian Rogerson, Phil Robinson, John Gale, Simon Sturridge,
Struggling.
I'm struggling. Roger Hansbury was the reserve keeper, I think. I think Kevin Ashley might have been in the reserves as well. John Gale. I got John Gale in at the end.
You got 2 John
You
Gales.
did, and
You got 2 John Gales.
Did I get 2 John
2
Gales?
John Gales.
Get off. That's close.
That's 10 points to you. Wow.
It's very close.
That is close, man. Well done, Sam, if you've won, by the way.
That's close.
Because that respect.
It's actually a draw.
You're joking.
No way.
You both got 13.
Did we?
Yeah.
Wow.
what a way to finish.
So what are we going to do now?
What are we going to do? We haven't thought about it.
I haven't thought about that one.
A scrap.
There's only one way to resolve it. In the words of Harry Hill, it's a fight.
I think we'll have to leave it as a draw then. Well done.
Oh, that's nice.
It's impressive. that is.
Or rematch next season.
I'd have actually done
Rematch
quite
next
well at the
season.
1991 season because of the that lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
I'm loving that little tune in the background. We need that one.
Who did I miss, Craig, in the 91 squad there? Did I say most of them?
You did say
The
most
squads
of
were a
them.
lot smaller then as well.
You got the most
Ian Rogerson,
absurd
did you
names.
Steve Rogerson.
Like, was David Rennie in there? He
That
weren't,
was
was
the year
he?
after, I think.
Yeah, I think he was. Greg Downs was there, wasn't he?
You see, you
Great
mentioned
one.
Ashley,
Dennis
but
Bailey, I
Ashley
think,
was there
was
for
it?
Dennis
sure.
Bailey. Dennis Bailey.
Dennis Bailey.
Hansbury, I think, had left by then.
Who was the goalkeeper?
Martin Thomas.
Thomas,
Thomas.
But I can't remember who the reserve goalie was
Was
then.
it Tony Elliott? Was he?
I can't remember.
Oh,
I was 11. I was 11 then as well. He's done that well, Craig, because we were both 11 in that season.
Yep.
Pete Taylor says, call that the first leg of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So some of the ones you missed: Dean Williams, Dean
Reserve
Williams,
keeper.
reserve
He was
keeper.
reserve keeper.
Don't remember him.
Gary O'Reilly,
No, I don't remember
From
him.
Palace. Yeah.
Dougie Bell, Eamon
Bell.
Doolan.
I remember him, Eamon Dolan, yeah.
You Matthew Fox.
Fox.
Darren Rowbottom.
Paul Macefield.
You didn't mention Dean Peer.
Oh my God, I didn't.
No.
Or
And
Cooper.
Robert Hopkins.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I didn't. Did I mention Cooper? I didn't. Did I?
I don't think you did.
Mark Cooper.
No,
Cooper.
It's hard.
But to get 13 each is some going.
Well done, Sam.
Mark, that's.
Well done, Paul.
Well done, mate.
So, Mark, you're challenging Sam next time. Sam, I think we can
I'll
quite
challenge
clearly
you
say
in
you'll
there,
win.
next season.
Oh yeah, I haven't got it.
Can I
I
take
don't
the
know when
sidelines?
I'm on every week.
Can I
Sorry,
take the
I've
sidelines on
got
this?
2 and neither are hot water.
Go on, Nicky.
Can I take the sidelines on this because I'm injured? I'll be in the medical room.
Actually, I think I'm missing. There wasn't a player called Robinson as well, 97,
From
98.
Wolves?
Steve Robinson.
Oh,
Yeah,
97,
I said Phil Robinson in 91.
Yeah, Phil Robinson 91, Leyland Duff, and
You got Steve Robinson in 98 as well, yeah.
98.
Yeah.
I hate these people who can remember all this.
I can't
It's
even
all the
remember my own
old
name.
games.
Did you say Chris Marsden, Sam?
Oh no, Miss Chris Mars. You're
Ah,
right.
you know who else you missed?
Got Marsden and McCarthy missed.
McCarthy.
John
Yeah, big
McCarthy, yeah.
missed,
How could I miss McCarthy? What a
You
player!
missed Howard Forrington as well.
Howard Forrington as well, yeah.
Howard
And Darren, did you say Darren Purse?
Perth.
He did.
I don't. Oh, I got Mr. Percy, my favourite
Hey,
player.
Mark, you
No,
should,
you
you should
mentioned
play
him.
this game.
I know. Anders Limpar. Anders Limpar.
Is
he there?
You got that on your
98?
phone in front of you?
No, I can't read.
That's true, you are from Coventry. We forgot about that bit.
You never used to be this clever.
I thought
thanks
thinking with John Bass was a good shout, wasn't it? I don't know where that came from.
No.
Yeah.
Whoever's just posted that stadium update, thank you very much. We did read, Craig read out the statement about 5 minutes after it was published earlier. Right,
Pete Taylor's come up with a great idea.
Vinny Samways was on loan then.
What?
Is this to settle it now?
Yeah, Pete said, to settle it now, can you please pick as many players as you can from the 2023-24 season?
I think we'll probably have about 3.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Okay, quickly then. What was the highlight of your season, guys? Mark, you start.
I think doing a double over the Albion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way we did it as well. That was
Same for you?
mine.
Yeah, same for me, I think, yeah.
Craig?
Yeah, I think same for me, but it's not just, it was the way and the manner that we did it on both occasions.
Actually, no,
absolutely destroyed them.
Getting my seat back as well.
Also for me was...
You haven't got yours yet, have you?
Still waiting for
the
mine.
last game of the season was seeing those executive seats full with people with Birmingham scarves around their neck. Right, okay. Now, is it a coincidence with the inferences to Peaky Blinders with the Shelbys and who knows? Time will tell. Alan,
Can I say my highlights of the season?
Yes, of
was
course.
was actually finding out we had new owners coming in.
having a wee in the bucket.
Yeah, I'm there. I was going to say that.
There is that as well, Chris, yeah.
Yeah.
Claire, for you.
Probably the Swansea winning 4-3 in the last minute.
It's a trusty, yeah.
The Albion game, and then for me, probably coming on here as well with you guys.
Tilton.
Claire, do you know what, Claire?
You can have a mug for that.
Claire, we are all
she had a mug.
overcome with emotion.
Just because they give them all.
And Claire, you mean the message from Shiv doesn't get into the equation for the...
Oh, I've got the message from Shiv. I've got away games, home games, her game too. Moving near to you, Craig.
Oh, yeah, no, can you go the other way now, please?
Pies, Booker Pies back at St Andrews. That was a big highlight, isn't it? Yeah. Claire, you're very welcome to join us again next year.
No, she's not.
Sam's has got to be drawing with me. Sam's has got to be drawing with me on squad game, ain't it, Sam?
Yeah,
You've got to have a rematch in
That's
squad
my
game.
highlight, getting 13-13. That's definitely my highlight.
I know, yeah.
Paul was always in my shadow. I always thought that he was going to come back one day and get all these, beat me comfortably. That's a quite good
I think actually that's on par with one of the first times that we did it when we had the chap from the Blues Trust in and the numbers were reeled off then. So
I think Sam and Paul should go onto the centre circle at half time one day next season. Do it live.
yeah, do it live on the pitch. Well, that's Richard. Yeah, see what he says.
I'm sure.
Will you ask Richard to come on soon?
I spoke to him
Early
actually
part
in the
of
last
next season.
game, so he is going to. He said he will join us
Right,
when we
okay.
can arrange something. And also, even though it's out of season, I will keep people posted, especially on the fans advisory board. it was mentioned by the new owners. We know that the wheels are in motion. We're just waiting for those final little bits, but that will be a good one for everybody because you can get involved as fans in the way that the club is not just run, but have a say. So we'll keep you posted on that one.
You know, you'd be surprised, football fans. There's an intelligent bunch of people out there. Very, you know, and any business, you should always pull off everybody, right?
I've got a fun question for everyone.
A fun question,
fun just for fun.
How much fun is it?
Fun believable.
This is
right. Here we go. Here's the fun question. Just 1 moment. How big is Paul Hipkiss's waist?
No, it weren't that. Who scored our first goal of the season for the last 5 seasons?
Oh dear.
First game was 0-0, wasn't it, Luton?
5 seasons. I'd have to go the Duke.
Maxime Colin?
Maxime Colin. At Sheffield.
Sheffield.
I'm asking. I don't know the answers. I'm asking.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you got the answers on.
Maxime Collins good. That's at Sheffield United last season.
Henderson scored that header against Brentford.
That was a bullet, that header, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was there. I remember it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for giving a question out. You don't know the answer.
Well, it was a fun question, Chris.
We've already got 2.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Colin.
What about last season? 0-0 at Luton, and then what?
Well, didn't the Norwich, the lad,
First home
the
game
Polish
was-
lad from Norwich score?
Say again.
goal last
Placheta.
Did he get the first one against Norwich? So there's this season's then. So there's 3.
No, we played Huddersfield in the second game, or did we? Was it Norwich? I can't
Mark
remember.
Brooks has said Hogan scored.
Somebody's
Hogan gone for one of them.
Yeah, it's
Pedersen's been mentioned again.
Huddersfield. And was it Hogan who scored?
Hogan did. Hogan with the header, diving header.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The night time, Friday night.
Testing everyone's memories, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mike Woods, Wednesday and Dutton coming on hopefully soon.
Right.
We do need him on.
Okay, it is the last 15 minutes of the Tilton Talk Show's 12th season. Have we got anything lined up tonight?
We have.
We have. It's a really good one, actually.
Come on then, Craig, blast it out.
So it's anything to do with football and Birmingham. Anything to do with football and Birmingham.
Nice and easy one. We've got about 100 lined up already.
And whilst we're waiting for the first ones to come through, it's just 5 minutes now left for the auction. So if you are interested, please message me within the next 5.
No problem. I'm going to go with Marlon King standing.
Nearly had a boring.
Dilly had a
Frankly Burf.
You just looked that up on your phone from earlier.
No, that's what I said. Yeah, fair enough.
Everyone remember Mr. Egg?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Egg, yeah.
Mr. Egg R. Davids.
Yeah.
Barry's Tall Green Rovers, that one was mine.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Wasn't very good. It's all right.
I'm going to put into the equation Digbeth Davies.
Dick Davis.
Mark Wardend.
Mark Woodend, yeah.
The Botanical Gardeners.
Just reading off all these different ones from earlier with the Licky Hillsborough.
Okay, yeah, that works, doesn't it?
Yeah, it works, but it don't make
Linda Magna has said hotter Cadbury hot chocolate.
I'll tell you what, yeah, there's something in that, isn't there?
Pete Taylor's gone with Callan Hill, Sutton Park.
Michael Woods with Alan Ball T.
Alan Ball T.
Yes.
I like that one, Michael.
They're thinking about these now.
Stephen Harborne.
We scored first and won. I can hardly believe it.
What about Kevin Lady Paul Road?
Eddie.
Yeah.
Steve Castlevale's just come through for me.
Steve Castlevale, that's a good one.
Big Singh's joined us. Thank you ever so much, mate. Great to see you last week as well. And your dad. Dealey had a Brummie accent.
Marlon Kingsheath.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
There's loads, isn't there?
Port Castlevale.
Steve Cotteridge.
Steve Cotteridge.
Dear. Go with David instead, he brings back terrible memories.
Yeah. Lodge Cottrell. Oh dear.
Who would you have out of him and Zola? So you get the choice now of him or
Zola
Zola.
and Cottrell.
Yeah.
Zola.
Yeah, and me.
Yeah.
We played some not bad stuff on the zone, to be fair. I know we lost a lot of games. We did play some decent football.
We did not.
Lily Pads won with Danny Shitu on the Villa Park.
That's the one.
Brilliant, love it.
I've had a tummy trickle.
It's funny you was talking about that, Paul, the other day. I was thinking, who out of the previous 5 or 6 managers would we have back with the new owners and with money? You know what I mean?
I hate to say this, but I think under the right resources and the right leadership, Karanka probably would have done better. And as bad as it was,
he was just.
But he didn't even have a Blues crowd behind him.
No.
For one game.
No.
Yeah, this is a good one. Christophe
He
Ribéry.
brought 5-3-2 into the club.
I know. Well,
No.
yeah.
No.
What about Lugonia?
No fights.
Lee Bowyer, yeah.
No fights in the end of the season. Small teeth. We've got Dan Tyburns, Lee Clark. I don't know where that one from. Lee Clark.
Having him back as a
The
manager.
manager to come back.
Oh right, yeah.
Can't beat him for passion.
No,
I don't think
I'll
there's
tell you
anybody
what,
really
he's,
for passion.
he's proper surprised me when he came on the show.
quality.
He
Yeah, he was.
absolutely
Honest.
superb.
Brilliant.
Kevin McDonough has gone with Kevin Broadstreet.
Lee Campbell. Overplaying some
Martin Square.
Brilliant.
That's some good ones.
Oh dear.
Would anybody trust Rowett if
No.
with funds? No.
Looking at him at Stoke with funds.
Well, he jumped. Derby was his dream job, and he soon jumped ship, didn't he?
He also doesn't seem to be able to get a team over the line.
Well, people forget he's yet to achieve anything in football. He hasn't won anything. He hasn't got anyone promoted. So
He got in the playoffs with Derby, didn't he?
he got into the playoffs, yeah, but like actually sort of getting to a final or winning something, he hasn't done anything yet, has he?
Nah.
He's like a Tottenham of the managerial.
Mark Morgan has said Chris Marsden Green.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that one.
I like that one as well, yeah.
Chris Marston Green's a good one.
Too many legs 11 on the pitch. River Ray Wilkins. Ray Wilkins.
Yeah, Nigel will forget that one.
Jack Grealish, Edgy Baston. Jack Grealish.
Edge Baston.
Edge Baston. Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Michael Gary Owen.
I like Steve Portman's one.
Gary,
That's very clever, Steve Portman.
Steve Portman's a good one, isn't it?
What's Steve Portman?
Paul Robin Hudson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
What about Quinton Fortune? Quinton.
Yeah.
That deserves a.
Story of my life.
Stan Colmore Road. Stan Colmore Road.
Bruce 11.
Bobby Moore Street.
Bobby Morse.
Jeff Northfield.
That's a good one.
That is very good.
Mick Graves, well done, mate.
Oh, brilliant. I do like Stan Colmore.
That's very clever.
Terence Sparkbrooking.
We have talked about the highlights of the season. What's everybody's highlights of the shows, apart from themselves?
Wow.
You're asking us or the viewers?
You?
One
People here.
well, I'm a viewer as well as a
Yeah.
contributor. One for me was coming in and meeting with you guys tonight in person. I mean,
Oh no,
that
well,
because
agreed.
Oh, that's
you know what, you can't beat it, and we've all had a really torrid 2 or 3 years. And we've kind of gotten used to doing the Zooms now, and you know, if that is the way forward, then it is the way forward. But to come over here tonight and meet you all again, superb for me. Thank you.
I think guests were
And of course, those guys that are on the screen as well, including Claire, Otto, Mark, and Sam.
Sam.
Mine was Paul leaving and being replaced by Claire.
Yeah. That's my highlight as well, Mark.
What a good job you're in Texas, pal. That's all I can
That's
say.
the only reason he said it, yeah.
Michael Woods and Brett Stanley have both said the same as what I was going to say, actually, which was the Gordon Taylor show.
I was just about to say that.
He's absolutely superb.
Wasn't he brilliant?
Yeah.
It was a good show. That was.
Even though I didn't see him play, his insight to the game and everything else
Very
was just
intelligent
sublime.
bloke. Very intelligent.
Also coming over here and meeting Dave Latchford. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Played in the first game I ever went to.
Let's also not forget the big one with Mr. Magoma, because
I think
what a
Nick's,
chance he was.
Nick's little moment with Mr. Regis was quite amusing, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's there, yes.
Yeah.
Cyril Regis, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And Dom said the same. Isn't
A lot of people saying Gordon Taylor actually as the show. We have 2 minutes left for the end of the auction.
Just
2
remind
minutes
Nick,
left.
Craig, of his Cyril Regis moment.
So it was when you asked me to get him on the show, but unfortunately he passed away numerous years ago.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when Nick wanted him on the show.
Oops. We all make mistakes, and the Dalek climbing off the dustbin.
We've got Steve Portman with Handsworth Woods,
Ricky Hills.
Adrian Smallheath as well has come up in there.
They were Rowley Regis.
Oh, clever.
Like it, like that.
That's very good.
I'm glad I mentioned Cyril Regis now. That made you thought of that, didn't you, Mark?
Yeah, got me that one.
Peter Panner and his cheeky Chinese quarter. Oh, dear me.
I briefly met Cyril myself once as well.
Yeah, I met him once.
Yeah, he's such a nice fella.
He's a lovely bloke.
He was.
Now, you all know about my memory issues. Did I mention last week about the lady that I met at work?
Probably.
The prison officer.
Oh yeah, I don't
Yes,
think-
with our friend Mr. Otto.
Yeah,
Wow.
we weren't listening though.
You know, you never know who you're going to bump into next, yeah. And my head might just bump into his in a minute.
Claire, what's your highlight of the season? Same to Alan as well after.
What's my highlight? Probably Gordon Taylor. I could just listen to him all day.
I
And,
agree.
you know, having the bingo playing as well.
60 seconds left, ladies and gents.
Go on, Mr. Chairman, what's yours?
Well, the Gordon Taylor was very good. My particular favourite was Noel Blake, because we shared that story about my dad after the Derby game when we beat the Villa 3-0 on the day after Christmas. And my dad, who was very, very poorly, almost he was sitting up in bed cheering when I got back to see him after the game, and the look on Blakey's face when I was telling him the story, he couldn't believe it. And it was nice. It was nice to share that with him.
And without forums and shows like this, right? The footballers and stars and old stars, they would never ever know our stories.
Lily pad for selling the jacuzzi. That's very clever as well.
Yeah.
And we've heard stories we never heard before.
We have.
I don't think we've had Sam's answer yet, have we? Sam, what's your highlight of the season apart from drawing with me on squad game?
Actually, I don't know if this counts. I enjoyed the video that Chris put together with the history.
Yeah,
I know
it's
it's not on the actual show, but I really enjoyed that video and seeing it from stories.
Yeah, it's good.
Ladies and gents, the auction has now closed.
Okay, Lilypan says, great show, keep smiling, keep right on. Nigel Mann, great season, guys, stay safe, keep right on to the next season. Chris, excellent for putting the show on together. Flea Market Hughes, Mark Hughes. Sorry, Lily, that one's.
Flea Market.
Stephen Gill did want to join us, but unfortunately he has had some internet problems today, which prevented him from joining us to go through. So
we'll crack him next year, mate.
He's asked me to announce who's going to win, and I can say that the winning bid came in from Laura Burton. So congratulations, Laura. It's raised £120 for the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. So thank you, Laura. That's a huge effort from everybody. Well done. And we'll get that shirt across to you.
Thanks to Stephen as well.
I can't see you noted, but Wheelie Adibola's just come in. That's a really good one. Christoph Dudley. Michael, great show tonight. Good night to all from South Africa. Keep right on. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here next season, young man. Great show. Look forward to you all next season. Keep right on, Paul McCarthy. Thank you very much indeed. So keep right on, Paul Hansen. What a wonderful bunch they are, aren't they?
Yeah, very good.
Another good night. Hope you all stay safe and see you next season from Ray Cornish.
Without these people, we wouldn't have a show.
No. Did we get a front two in the end in the Hall of Fame 11?
He does appear to have been Forsell and TF.
Yeah, that's hard to argue, isn't it? I can't remember anyone in the midfield. Did we do it?
We did Barry Ferguson in the end, didn't we, for one?
Yeah.
Barry Ferguson,
Larson, Stan Lasvidis, Jude.
That was it, yeah.
Jude, Fergie, Stan and Larson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And manager-wise, there actually is a tie. So there's a tie in between the Bald Eagle and Stevie Bruce.
Really?
So I think between us, Mark.
I'm going to have to go with Bruce because I was only 4 or 5 when Jim Smith was around, so I'm going to go with Bruce.
I never saw Jim Smith, so it's hard, isn't it?
Jim Smith, without a doubt, without a shadow.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you say,
still
2-2.
I'd still say Bruce, but I'm saying I've only never seen the other one. But chairman of the board.
Yes, sir. What?
Who would you have as manager? Steve Bruce or the Bald Eagle?
Oh, Steve Bruce. I never forgave Jim Smith for selling Trevor. I never forgive him to this day.
I know.
And Claire, I'm guessing.
Bruce, so.
Well, I thought you said the Bald Eagle because you watched him play, didn't you?
She's not old. She's not old enough.
I saw Jim Smith play.
she is old enough. That's the Botox. That's the Botox, Chris.
Claire will be calling makeup in a minute.
You're in so much trouble, Craig.
I know, but I haven't got to see her for a few months, so it's all right. I can stay away. It's fair to say then that Mr. Bruce will be the manager for the team.
Okay. So, could you publish that for us?
Can I say chicken tikka masala? For the
chicken tikka masala. That is very good. Yes,
very good.
Well, like the Baltic capital, haven't we?
Yeah.
Right.
Very good. Very good.
Can I try and Pitta on love?
Can you say
Pitta on love.
Well done.
Pitta bread on love.
Can we read out Mike Wood's one?
I knew that after 9 months you'd come up with a good one. Well done.
Right at the end.
Steve Portman reckons he's too young as well. Claire Giblin to remember the Bald Eagle.
I remember him at Derby. Towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
Stephen Powell, thanks for a fantastic season of Tilton Talk Show. Loved it. Roll on next season. Take care all and keep right on, everybody. Well, this has been yet another amazing season on the show. And like I say, there's hope out there. There's hopefully something for us all, each and every single one of us, to look forward to. We've been downtrodden so many times and for so long. A glimmer of hope is on the horizon. Chris Browne, thanks for the amazing work that you do in here, and I know it takes you absolutely ages and ages and ages to set up.
It does.
Craig, for all the guests, thank you very much indeed, sir. Bless you. Mark, well, he comes from Coventry.
I'm not from Harborne, for God's sake.
We keep on hearing this, we're yet to see proof.
Really disappointed you didn't bring the robe in tonight, mate. I really am.
Oh no, it's been devinegarised.
So. To our resident savant, Mr. Paul Hipkiss, thank you ever so much.
Pleasure.
I don't know where you get your knowledge from. I could take you outside and smash with a brick, I promise you.
No, don't do that.
From our chairman of the board, the one and only Mr. Alan Motton.
Goodbye all. It's been a lovely summer. Those watching and those presenters, I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for having me on.
Bless you, you're an absolute superstar. Claire?
Thanks for having me on. It's been great. Let's see what next season brings. Keep right on.
Yeah, too right. Mark Brooks has just said if the takeover goes through, massive party at the Tilton Talk Show. You don't have a clue, mate, I promise you.
And Michael Woods has said he can't believe that we didn't read out his last one, so I'll do it for you, Michael, which is It's Sober Nick Spallheath.
I've got Lucas Aid today. All the way from America, Mr. Mark Meredith.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I think we should have a live show in Texas next year.
Yeah, you're paying. You're paying.
Yeah. I'm up for that, mate.
We're all crashing at your house.
Pre-season tour now that we got American owners, isn't it?
And you're also getting the alcohol in.
I'm going business class, by the way.
And from Sam.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for having me on. Keep right on. Hopefully next season is going to be a big season for us.
And from me and the whole team, thank you so very much for everything that you do, all the comments, the likes, the stars. It's always sad to finish summer, but we know that it's going to be at least 3 days of sunshine out there. We can have 2 barbecues and then get the other one rained off. So listen, everybody, have a marvellous summer. Thank you so very much to Michael Woods. Has said Sam Mullet is a savant too. We're going to have to have a savant rematch. We are. Everybody, stay safe. Have a marvellous summer from the whole team. God bless you. Thanks ever so much for everything you do for us. Keep right on. Keep it, mate.